Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Bus. On this one, I've got something a bit different. We're working on Adam. You would have seen him in earlier videos. We're working on his patrol. There's a bit of a story with this patrol. So Adam purchased this in late 2022, early 2023. It had a cooked motor. He had a written off GQ wagon with a TD42 in it. Or not a written off motor. It was just cooked. So he bought this, or swapped it for another patrol actually, and then he swapped the TD42 out of his wrecked wagon and put it into this, along with wiring loom and everything else. And then 6 months to a year more of effort, thing was finally on the road. All happy. And about 3 to 4 weeks before my wedding, we decided to do the swivel hubs on it. So we got under there, did a fair bit of work on those. Obviously, everyone knows that they're a dick of a job. So did those. And then the night after my wedding, he parked it on the nature strip as you would, tired, hungover, all those things. And the next morning he woke up and it was gone. So it got flogged in October of last year, and the police called him Feb this year, and then he went and picked it up. So it's had a bit of damage. Obviously, you know, people that steal cars don't look after them. Why would they? It's not theirs. So I had a little bit of bull bar damage, nothing crazy. And they've done some other stuff to it, but we'll give you a bit of a walk around of the damage. So yeah, it's looking pretty rough. They've repainted some parts. They've basically just dogs, just stealing shit and then ruining it. Like, after how much effort he's had to put in, you know, a year to get it roadworthy, swapping engines, swapping wiring looms, all that stuff. And just dogs, So yeah, let's get into it.
Well, hello everyone. As Angus said, I'm Adam, and this is my 1998 GQ Patrol with a silver top TD42 that I swapped in from my old wagon that got written off itself. Thanks, Uncle Kev. So, what do we? I got it back a couple of weeks ago, and it's got some bit of front end damage from being stolen. Someone crashed into a creek, just running amok with it. 3 months. So bull bar's looking pretty bent, not too bad. It hasn't damaged the structure at all, which I'm very happy about. The guards, as you'll probably see later, they're a little bit bent in the front from the bull bar hitting it. And when we picked it up from the station, we were completely unable to get it started at all. It did have a problem with the starter motor. I was already hitting it with a hammer before it got stolen, so I think it's absolutely shagged, being parked in a river.
It was meant to be an anti-theft device. It's only working sometimes. But
exactly right. You had to give it the magic tap.
They were onto it.
But yeah, so today we're just gonna pull it apart, have a closer look at the damage, try and get the bull bar off. And we've had it cranking a couple of times, but I've got a new starter motor here, so we'll put that in and see if we can get it fully turning, drain the oil, see if we can see any metal shavings in the oil. I just have no idea what they've done with it. And yeah, just have a closer look and see how much work we're in for. That's pretty much it.
Here we are, we've got the front guards off. Bull bars come back and punch. We don't know if it's the mount or if the actual poles have been bent yet. But yeah, so big dent. That's obviously going to hit the crick bed. Hit both sides pretty much identically. One's a little worse than the other. So don't know if it's new guards or if we can work with this. We're going to try and work with it, aren't we?
See what we can do. But new guards are hard to find on these things, so
on the old coil cabs,
yeah,
they're a bit tricky to find, so we'll see. Bull bar next. We've just pulled the bash plate and we found more damage. If you have a look here, it's actually cracked just there, and the bolt had been snapped. So obviously the hits bent some stuff. It looks like there was some winch rope caught in between this underbody protection, and it's actually bent it a little bit there too. So interesting to see how much of the impact actually affect like further down and under. There's the front end part. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at dropping the oil and putting some fresh stuff in, and then we'll swap the starter motor over, and hopefully she will just fire, being that it's an old diesel, as long as the knobs that stole it haven't fucked it. But yeah,
Hopefully the old TD lives up to its name.
yeah,
See?
yeah, exactly right. Let's see how this goes. Just take a sec to show you what the Crim's handiwork is. So this actually used to be like a duck egg blue, weird baby blue color. It was weird color, but they've painted it rattle canned it white, and they've left this black strip down here, which I think is like the most identifiable part of the car. And the tray was also black, and now it's silver. So obviously, whoever had it, it seems like they just wanted to drive it around. They didn't flog it to, pull all the parts off it and sell it and then burn it out. No, they actually just, it looks like they've actually just been in it to drive it, which is a bit mind blowing to us. The oil's been dropped, and by the grace of God, there are no silver bits in it, from what we can see. Thankfully, Adam's just on the ground now. He's going to start pulling out the starter motor, and then hopefully we can crank it over and it'll start if we're lucky. If it's not fucked. There we go. There's the old one, and
A few dents on it.
there you go. So the old trick of smacking the solenoid to get it to start. It's an OEX one, so don't buy OEX. Dog shit.
Corrosion in there on the gear to start the flywheel, so water's gone in somewhere at some point.
Got the fresh boy here. I reckon it'll start, eh? I reckon it's going to start.
I think it'll start. I hope it starts.
No, it's going to start. There's no hoping. It's just going to start. So there we go. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get it started. We put a new starter in. Keep in mind, we're kind of dealing with shit batteries right now as well. None of them have really charged up, so that's probably not a good way to go into it.
Crappy earths, crappy jumper leads.
Yep, but yeah, there's been a few things. So it is turning over. We're not 100% sure if it's making compression. It kind of seems like it is. But we've definitely had it turn over properly before. We still need to look at the electricals because we don't know, they might have with it, or it's an old car, so that's the other half of it.
It was sunk in water.
Yeah.
Some of the relays are making some noise.
Yeah, they're
something like that.
Exactly.
Several days later.
Hello everybody, welcome back. So from where we left off, we stripped the bull bar, quarter panels, snorkel and everything. Got all that done with Gus here. Put a new starter motor in and tried to kick it over, but as I'm sure you saw, it didn't quite work out that well. Cranking really slowly. Just thought, all right, we'll just try another battery. Gus went and got another one and cleaned up all the terminals, got new terminals, found all the earth points, cleaned those up with a wire brush, put them all back together and all shiny and new. And sure enough, kicks over. So here we go. Beautiful. So there it is, running buttery smooth. And I was a bit worried about this, being that I was unsure of what happens, but there's absolutely no blow by for a tiny bit. Nothing serious. And yeah, that's good. She's back up and running.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And there's going to be plenty more work on this one. So if you like patrols, make sure you subscribe.
Up the patrols.
Down the patrols, up the Hilux.